Hi, it's Barry Moore back with another Tactical 20 podcast.
Welcome to the Active Marketer Podcast, where we talk about how to design, automate, and scale your business to the next level using sales and marketing automation. You can find out all the tips, tactics, and techniques you need to get more customers and sell more stuff over at theactivemarketer.com. Now, here's your host, Barry Moore.
Hi, I'm your host, Barry Moore, and this is going to be another Tactical 20 podcast. The Tactical 20 podcasts are all about giving you an actionable tip, technique, or tactic that you can take away and implement in your business in less than 20 minutes. Hey everybody, it's a beautiful sunny day here on the east coast of Australia, and today's Tactical 20, we're going to talk about lead scoring. If you listen to episode 16, Justin Brook talks about a bit of a VIP lead scoring scenario that he has running in his business. And I've had a lot of questions about that, so I thought I would explain lead scoring quickly in our Tactical 20 podcast. So why do you want to use lead scoring? Well, lead scoring is like a little magical robot that works away in the background, looking at everything that your subscribers do and assigning a point value to that. And what eventually happens is it lets those customers who are most engaged with your message or taking those actions you most want them to take to bubble up to the top. They end up with a score, a lead score, that gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And you can go in and you can look at your subscribers, your contacts, and see who has the highest lead score and reach out to those people who are the most engaged with your messaging. So what is lead scoring? Lead scoring is a feature in most marketing automation platforms that allows you to tie a point value to a particular action. So if you're on a website and you're selling something, a product or a service, and someone buys that product or service, well, hey, you're going to know about that because your shopping cart's going to send you a message, or your payment gateway is going to send you a message to say, hey, this person's just bought your product. But what about all those little actions that take place behind the scenes that you don't know about? You don't have a big event trigger in there to tell you that something's happened like you would with a sale. So for example, if a customer opens your email, or if a customer clicks on a link in your email, or they visit the landing page for your product or your service, or they come back to your website 10 times, 20 times, 50 times, 100 times, you don't really necessarily get a trigger for that unless you're looking in your analytics. But even if you do look in your analytics, it's not going to track that back to an individual. So what lead scoring does, it allows you to tie point values to those particular actions. And then when someone takes one of those actions, like clicking on a link in an email, for example, you're assigning them a number of points, just like a game, right? And Justin talked about the gamification of his marketing. So for example, you could have an engaged VIP lead scoring scoreboard. And what that would do is it would allow you to separate your most engaged subscribers and your most engaged readers from everybody else. So how are you going to do that? Right. Well, what you're going to do is you're going to map out the actions that you want your subscribers or your contacts to take. What's the most desired actions? From anything from opening an email. Obviously, if we send them an email, we want them to open it. We want them to click on links in those emails. We want them to download our lead magnets. We want them to look at our landing pages. There are certain actions that we want people to take. And we're going to assign point values to each one of those actions. So, for example, you might have, if they open an email, that's 1 point. If they click on a link, that's 2 points. If they download the lead magnet, that's 3 points. If they visited our website 50 times, you might give them 20 points. And then you can have triggers within the system that say, hey, Barry has just tripped over the 50-point mark. So you might want to reach out to him. He's quite an engaged subscriber. You might want to reach out to him with some sort of special offer or some sort of gift to reward him for that behavior and potentially sell him something. So it's a way for you to separate your more engaged readers from your less engaged readers. So how do we do that? Well, if you head over to the show notes for this episode, which will be at theactivemarketer.com/scoring, I'll have a link to an article I did. It's a complete walkthrough on how you set up that engaged VIP sequence. And that's not the only thing you can do with lead scoring. Just like with marketing automation, you're really only limited by your imagination. You can do anything you want. So how do you implement lead scoring? Well, the first thing you need to do is map out those actions you want your customers to take assign those actions a point value, then come up with some sort of scoring threshold where you want to be notified when someone passes that threshold. So once they pass 20 points, send me an alert, send me an email so that I can reach out to that person and offer them something. Once you have your threshold, then you want to set up an automation that's going to trigger whatever it is that you want to do then. That might be you reaching out to them individually. It might be you sending them a special offer. Whatever that next action for those engaged readers is going to be, you can set up an automation to make that happen. So that's a bit about lead scoring. Head over to the show notes again, theactivemarketer.com/scoring. There'll be a link there to a complete walkthrough article on how you can set up this engaged VIP sequence in your own business. And remember, if you get stuck, you can always book a free 20-minute marketing review call with me, and we can have a chat about what you're trying to accomplish. Or if you kind of know what you're trying to accomplish, but you can't quite figure it out, you can also book a paid strategy call with me. You can find all that information over on theactivemarketer.com/scoring. It'll be in the show notes. Well, that's Tactical 20 for today. Thanks for joining me, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. All right, that's our Tactical 20 podcast for this week. If you have any questions or any topics you'd like to see covered on future Tactical 20 podcasts, you can always send me an email at Barry, B-A-R-R-Y, at theactivemarketer.com and let us know what you'd like to see. Also, if you head over to the show notes for this episode and just leave a comment or leave a comment in any of the episode show notes, tell us what you'd like to see and we'll make sure we cover it on an upcoming episode. So get out there and design, automate, and scale your business to the next level using sales and marketing automation. See you next week, everybody.
Thanks for listening to the Active Marketer Podcast. You can find the show notes and all the latest marketing automation news over at theactivemarketer.com.